Hey guys, this is Locke. Today I'm going to do a PvP match that happened between my Tidus, Yuna, and Nivlu versus my opponents Yuna, Garvall, and Sakura. So right away I switched the map to bird's eye view because that way is easy to count squares. Um, I can see that my opponent doesn't have any form of really engaging besides doing a lot of damage. So I decided that I would be the one to engage because I have Nivlu and my Nivlu has quicken, and also my units also have all have haste thanks to Tidus's Hastega buff. So the first turn I decided I would just start buffing, and on the second turn I would approach. But right here, I see that my opponent actually, in my opinion, made a mistake. You can see that my opponent actually has all maxed cards. But anyway, the mistake that he made, in my opinion, was that he used Smile Practice right now, and I'm not approaching right now. So after he used Yuna's TMR, um, if I decided to just wait for 3 turns until the TMR walks away, like he has nothing, he can't do anything. He would have to approach, right? Because same with Purify, actually, both of those effects only last for 3 turns. So if I didn't have any form of engaging myself, I would end up like just waiting out the 3 turns for my opponent's buffs to run out because he can't recast those TMR buffs. Now I don't really like to do that, so that's why I typically would prefer to play with an aggressive playstyle. That's kind of why I have a quickener in here because I can I can make the approach. On top of that, I also have Nivlu, which breaks barriers. So especially, whose barrier is he using? He is using uh, Ayaka's barrier. That barrier only lasts for 3 turns, but even Marshari's barrier, both of them reduce damage by 30%. And if I didn't have Nivlu, even my Tidus can't one-shot anybody with those barriers, and you'll see in a few minutes when I get the chance to do that. So right now, I decided to keep my Nivlu still so that she can go before Tidus, and I can use my Yuna's TMR on her um, then. So I moved all my units into position so to make that like L shape, so that on Nivlu's turn she can use the TMR, and all 3 of them can get Yuna's TMR's buff. So that's the reason why I'm doing that. And I see that my opponent also seems to want to engage. Um, I don't really see a way for him to engage unless one of my units is in range and he can do damage, or of one of the 3 units he can move in range and sacrifice that unit, and I can and the 2 remaining units that he has, he will use them to kill my units, I guess. And he might be able to pull that off really, because if you had a chance to see his vision cards, he would do like a lot of damage with any of them. His Yuna could one shot my Tidus, and I don't remember if my Tidus had the smile, like the TMR, Yuna's TMR buff and Yuna's Barlight buff. Barlight increases light resistance by 25%. I think I would have taken 3 moves. I'm not sure. But still, like, I am not surprised that he's able to one shot my units because he has 3 offensive vision cards. So anyway, I can see here now because of the Hastega buff, my Tidus has like is able to go twice before my opponent is able to move, and I take advantage of that to make my to make my opening. So I can see here that if I move, my Tidus will go again. But I also notice that if I use a buff and I check the action order, my Tidus will still go before my opponent has a chance to move. So I decided to use the cheer, which increases his attack even more, and then I decide to move there. And I was very happy that Nivlu gets to go before Tidus because you'll see in a second what what that enables me to do. So and because I foresee my opponents being able to one shot like all of my units, I put like re-raise TMRs on my units so that they don't get one shot basically. That enables me to also play more offensively. Otherwise, I would be more scared to get into range because if I get hit, I would be dead, right? So here you can see that I'm using my Nivlu's barrier break skill to remove the barrier on Garvell. And you can see the difference in damage that it does when the barrier is removed and not. So Garvell typically has higher slash resistance than Yuna, and check the damage that Taunting Blade does against both of them. So against Garvell it does 4,400 damage, against Yuna it does 3,400 damage. Uh, Basically, and well, with the crit, it's another 1,000 more. But the difference was 1,000 damage. That's how much the barrier mitigated. And if that barrier was there, I probably would not be able to kill Garvall with Tidus. So that is why, again, like I've been promoting Nivlu. I guess I'm showcasing that as well. Garvall is very strong, and Garvall could have used his 50% barrier as well. But again, that wouldn't have helped against Nivlu's barrier break skill, and it would have also made him prone to Yuna, because Yuna does magic damage, and he didn't know who my carry was, I guess, so he wanted to be careful, and he used Marshari's TMR, not Marshari, who did he use? Oh yeah, he used Ayaka's TMR, and Ayaka's TMR is also AOE for everybody, whereas Garvell's is only for himself. So in the rest of the match, you can see that I'm not going to be able to damage. Like I won't do enough damage to Sakura. So I use Sonic Wind to reduce her CT so that my Yuna can go a second time, and that way I can chain. And check out the damage that his Yuna does to my Tidus. It just one shots him. So as you can see, stacking attack like that, it is very powerful. Even with I'm not sure if my defensive buffs have worn off yet. I don't think it has because I think it's only been 2 turns since I put it on. But still, he was able to one shot through them. And now you can see that since my Nivlu won't be doing enough damage, I can just quicken Tidus to go 2 times. Once to proc Yuna's re-raise skill, and the second time to finish her off. So anyway, like I've been touting these skills for Nivlu, saying that they're great, and this was one opportunity that happened to come up where she did really well. Like she was instrumental in me beating these guys because if I was still approaching and I didn't have her skills, I might not have won because like maybe I would have killed one of them by using all of my units, and then Yuna would have one shot my Tidus, and I couldn't one shot Yuna back. So it probably wouldn't have gone well if not for Quicken and for the barrier break skills. Now here my opponent happens to get a lucky break where he happens to reflex my Sonic Wind skill. But still the match is pretty much over. Like even if he managed to one shot any one of these 3 units, I still win. So I hope you guys enjoyed this match. Um, I will I'm trying to do like a bit of content of everything. And by the way, I am showing off my formation screen at the very end. I usually forget, but this time I remembered. So stick around to the end to see that if you guys want to. And if you have any questions about this match or any other comments, please leave them in the comments below. If you enjoy this type of content or even like beginner content, be sure to subscribe and like my channel. Uh, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys next time. I hope you have a good day. Thanks.